Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Your Big Music Moment. We come at you every day right here at 5 p.m. Pacific. Welcome. We've got some great live music today with Mason Summit. Firstly, though, shout out to Musicians on Call, our associated charity that brings the healing power of music to those in need. And now, let's get going with Mason. Hey, Mason, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me back on.
Oh, always, always. This is your home during the lockdown. So we're glad to have you back. Speaking of which, you want to just start out with some music and then we'll talk afterwards?
Yes, I do. All right.
Nice.
I didn't mean to say what I mean today. Meant to censor the sensations that my words conveyed. But that's not how it went. Instead of backspace, I hit print. There's an asterisk next to everything we say. I didn't mean to hear what you said last night. Meant to drown you out under fluorescent light. But that's not how it goes. By now we both know that there's an asterisk next to everything we say. Is it worth the risk to throw that fine print away? Away. Well, there's an asterisk next to everything we say. Is it worth the risk to throw that fine print away? Ooh.
Yeah. Beautiful. Wow.
Thank you.
What a treat. That's kind of everything. It's a beautiful melody and beautiful lyrics and a beautiful performance of those. I can't wait to talk about writing and your process and poetry and all of that. Super excited. But first, how'd this start? Why is music in your life, and why are you so compelled to make such great work and share it?
Well, first of all, thank you. But it's a mix of things. I was interested in creating it. I think because my parents were both creative types, and so for a lot of people, I think it's revelatory when you really think about people writing things and like where music comes from. But for me, it wasn't. It wasn't that crazy because my mom was always writing poetry and fiction in the house, and my dad was an actor, but his what he did mainly at home was write music as well, and he played a few different instruments. So it was just kind of something that was around. I think it was natural to pick it up. It took a while for me to maybe be as disciplined about it or as serious about it, but it was always something I liked to do. You know what I mean? And I think from the time that I actually started trying to write my own songs and sing and play, like my dad would take me to coffee shops, open mic nights when I was really young, like 9 and 10. When I really started to do it, and especially once I got to perform in front of people, then I knew that it was what I wanted to do all the time. There was never really a question. I'm glad that I didn't have that situation that some people have of picking between different paths,
Right.
because I really only had this one, you know?
Nice.
Not a jack of all trades.
You
Really
knew.
just,
You knew.
yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. That's a kind of a common feature. We had a really great artist on yesterday, a gentleman named Nick Danger, an amazing MC, and fundamentally there was a similarity. Like he was just like said once he started writing, that was it. That's what he's doing. Regardless however else it works out, that's his path. And it's interesting that you guys very different genres, but very
Right.
similar kind of artistic journey. So
Exactly. It should. I feel like it's something that should present itself to you, rather a
yeah,
vocation that you're trying to kind of adapt to or force upon yourself, which happens a lot, obviously. But it's just something that if you kind of know, it's like falling in love. Like when it happens.
right. And you can't really choose that. You're like, well,
Exactly.
there you go. This is what happened, and this is the person or the thing or the art form or whatever it is. In speaking of that, is there like just knowing that is your all encompassing kind of oeuvre, or it just permeates everything you do? Is there a certain sense of relief in that? Although making music and art is very difficult, at least you don't have to figure out what it is that gets the motor turning.
Definitely. I mean, that's something that internal, it's good to know about yourself. I mean, a lot of
Yeah,
people spend a long time searching for something that makes them happy and go through a lot of different hobbies or whatever. But for me, it just kind of, there was no process of elimination. It was really just that. And that is a big relief. You're right. I think there's this level of kind of identity and self assurance, knowing yourself. I think
right.
maybe I got that going before a lot of other people. And I'm
Yeah, yeah.
grateful for that. I
That's
had a lot of other things obviously to work through, but that one was taken care of.
don't we all? But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's amazing. I was the music bug bit me in a similar way. I walked into a restoring studio and I'm like, oh, okay, got it. This is what the
Exactly.
next 20 years is going to consist of.
Right.
And it literally did. So that's great. In the spirit of that music, do you want to hit some more tunes and then we can come back?
Yeah. All right. I'll do two. This one is
Good.
pretty new. This one's probably going to be my next single. I just got it back from mastering. And wrote this one started it kind of before the pandemic, and then I finished it in March because I had nothing else to do. So it's called Snowblind. To feel alive, had to defy death on the daily. To play it safe was the fate worse. Addicted to the thrill of knowing that you might get killed. At least I didn't catch that curse. Gone snow blind. What a silly way to lose your mind when he made his last descent with no regard for what it meant. An early grave, the mountain made another martyr. Buried in her blankets, met her wrath. Eyes went white in dark daylight. Oh child, do not tread that path. He'd gone snow So that one's not out yet. But this one is also on. The first song I played and this song are on the record that just came out a little while ago, a month and a half ago. Your bedtime stories and your tall tales, half-baked fiction, growing stale. I'm tired of hearing about the exes and exploits of the little rich white deer in headlights. Go and find yourself a brand new confidant, 'cause I've learned much more than I wanted. Like a child in the deep end of a pool, I reach my hand to help and you pull me in with you, and all this diving's got me bored. I don't get much allowance from doing your chores. Go and find yourself a brand new confidant, 'cause I've heard much more than I wanted. You've got a special way of ruining my day, and I've heard all you have to say. Go and find yourself a brand new confidant, 'cause I've learned much more than I wanted.
Yeah, nice. Very cool. Those are you're deep, man. The first song, it has this kind of snow wintry imagery in the lyrics, but that top chord is like a ukulele like
Yeah,
voice, like ukulele reminds me of being on Hawaii. So that's
completely.
so
It's
it's like
that
the contrast there.
the
That's pretty
sixth
cool.
chord is the key to
Yeah,
Hawaiian music.
yeah,
Yeah, I just really go for that kind of like juxtaposition, you know.
yeah. That's. I mean, that's really cool. Great. So tell us about the record that's coming out, because I don't want to, or came out, but
Yeah.
how many tracks? Where's everyone seeing it? What are the favorite ones so far?
So about a month and a half ago, my album came out. It's called Negative Space, and that's the name of the title track as well. 10 songs, although one of them is a surf rock instrumental called Point Doom. There's umlauts involved. And it's kind of a psychedelic, folky, power pop record. A lot of kind of retro elements, a lot of keyboards and different guitar sounds and textures, a lot of layering. Mainly self-produced,
Right.
but my longtime band that I kind of put together at USC plays on a bunch of it. It's probably my most collaborative record overall, and it's not a concept album per se, but a lot of the songs have to do with fatalism and depression, mental illness, and just kind of dark stuff. But again, I come from kind of a pop, like Beach Boys, Buddy Holly
Mm,
pop background, and of course the later like Elliott Smith and the Smiths and Elvis
right.
Costello and that kind of stuff. Just I really like dark, kind of incisive lyrics coupled with hopefully some catchy melodies. You
Yeah, I
know.
mean that's the Smiths, right? Especially, it's just like you can't believe he's singing those lyrics over those that kind of jaunty music sometimes, and it really the
Exactly.
lilt it adds to it is unbelievable. How soon is now is an amazing track, of course, but more importantly, back to your music. Did you do that kind of in this collaborative, like trading files around? especially at the end of it, or did you? Would you?
This record was completed before the pandemic and
Right.
was
Okay.
going to be released in April, and obviously the release show got canceled, so then I pushed back the whole album release to June, which I probably should have. I don't know. Like there kept being reasons coming up to push it back.
Yeah.
In June I pushed it back till the towards the end of June because I did not want to take up space away from like
Yeah.
indigenous and black voices, and I was really that was not where my head was at. Was
Right.
with promoting the album, but there just kept being reasons to push it back more. But the whole thing was made largely in person. I kind of like to do basic tracks and vocals in a studio. We were tracked in a couple different studios with a couple different friends of mine, and then do kind of more of the overdub stuff at home. A lot
Right.
of keyboard overdubs at home and guitar overdubs going on that I do myself. But it was very collaborative. My bandmate Jeff Frantum, who plays bass on a few of the songs, co-produced a couple of the sessions, and I was I was working more with people my own age, more peers for the first time. One of the
Right.
first times, I came up kind of working with more people in the established kind of LA music
Right.
community and like hiring older pros when I was a teenager. But this one was a lot more
Yeah.
kind of everyone comes from the same place, and there was a lot more of me asking for input. I think that's something you learn
Yeah.
as like, yeah, you want to take credit for it and like do as much as you can on your own, but you ultimately you want it to be the best record it can be. So everyone from my friend who mixed it, who I'm also in a band with, to the guy who mastered it was, giving their opinions, and
Good.
I always send stuff to friends and other people to hear their advice as well on it.
It's hard because you want to make art in a bubble, but you also need to have some kind of reference points outside of that bubble. Otherwise, you can go pretty fun but pretty wide. And so it's good to
Yeah,
have both.
you lose a degree of objectivity, when you try to do everything
Right.
yourself. And so I think there's a balance that has to be achieved.
So your production style is to, you write this song and then you're bringing in collaborators for not only what they're doing on their instrument, but maybe overall their participation with you.
Yeah, I would say
That's
so
nice.
because I have a really specific frame of reference and things that I draw from and like, and other people just have listened to things that I haven't heard and have
Right.
ideas, that I don't have. And so I think I really went for the collaborative aspect this time. It's obviously like still a solo record and I wrote all the songs, but just my approach evolved a
Right.
little bit, and especially through experiences like being at USC and being put in performance bands, there was a lot of kind of institutional collaboration that had to happen in
Right.
the classes that I took. And also being in a band, being a sideman in a band and stuff like that, those experiences kind of played into it.
Yeah, those are, I mean, collaborating with other musicians is really important to as far as learning what the other people know. Like if you're a producer, the last time you work as an assistant to somebody is the last time you see somebody else's way of doing something. After that, it's
Right.
just all yours. And so you're in a vacuum other than that. And now with the internet and, message boards and stuff, it's a little bit different. But, those times are valuable when you get to kind of see how someone else approaches a problem. But probably the same goes with
Totally.
business and everything. But
I was trying to soak stuff up, from seeing how, like, I really liked the way one guy, like the guy Jim Doyle, who engineered a lot of this record, he's a drummer as well. I liked observing the way he, mic'd the amps and mic'd the drums, and he played on a lot of it. And I'm always kind of trying to soak that stuff up. And the environment makes such a difference. Like even like the last song, for example, or stuff we tracked at this other guy's studio, Alex Bloom, who's also a really great songwriter. Like I would never have used a Roland jazz chorus on a guitar, which is like a very Smiths thing to do. Like a solid state kind of '80s amp
right,
is not my aesthetic at all. But
right,
just when it's around, you use it, and that's a sound that you haven't put on a record
yeah,
before. Get
yeah.
away from some of my usual like tricks and usual habits.
That amp in particular is is pretty badass. It's got a lot
Yes,
of different tones from
it
heavy to
has its
light.
place.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really interesting, especially two of them with stereo chorus. It's
I
pretty.
wish we had two of them. Yeah. We just had access to the one.
Well, there's the future, but
There's
yeah,
definitely a lot of stereo stuff happening on the record. Stereo
great.
effects and stuff like that. Yeah.
So, in terms of the release, are you doing anything? I think you'd mentioned, are you doing some other special releases, vinyl? What can we look
Yeah,
forward
I
to?
we didn't do like a CD release because that's kind of I've done that before, but it's not really it doesn't make sense anymore. But I am going to be pressing some vinyl. Some people still insist like they'll only review an album if there's physical product, and I thought
Yeah,
I don't know. I've always been a consumer of records, and it's cool to have a physical product and get
yeah,
the credits on there and everything. And so I'm working on that. It's kind of in the early stages because it has to be remastered for vinyl,
yep,
differently than for digital and that kind of thing. But I'm
yeah,
getting the graphics and everything pretty organized.
cool.
So we're doing that. But other than promoting it, I literally like posted an Instagram saying my album's out and then pretty much didn't do anything else for a while. It
Right.
felt weird. I mean, it was weird enough that the album came out on Juneteenth, which was my bad. But it's just like it's just not honestly. I'm making a lot of music right now. I am, and I'm recording a lot. But my head tends to be kind of in a different space, and
Right.
especially a as a person of privilege, as a white man trying to go into music, like it's really easy, even when you don't mean to take space away from other people who are not as recognized or who don't have as many opportunities. And I just never want to be that guy. So I
Yeah.
kind of just put it out there and was like, if you want to listen to it, it's here. But I didn't go super crazy with trying to bombard people with it. But the people who have heard it seem to like it.
Nice, and that I think it is it's a careful thing, with art. You don't want to completely stop it, but as you say, there's other things that the bandwidth needs to be preserved for as well. And I think that delaying it and putting it out in a way that is additive is really smart. That's cool. And also,
Yeah, and the
and vinyl is a great way too, because that's something that occurs outside of the, you order digitally, but other than that, that's something someone can enjoy at home. It's just not part of the conversation everyone's having digitally.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping is that the vinyl release is kind of because it's kind of staggered. That'll be a way to
Yeah,
continue to raise awareness for
yeah.
the album.
And everyone should buy it, because the mastering to put a record on vinyl, or put songs on vinyl, is usually pretty cool sounding. So
Yeah,
it's a whole different game. So I encourage
exactly.
everyone
And
everyone to want to buy it.
other than that, there's I've done some Instagram live streams. Of course, I've been on here a few times,
Yeah,
and I have some cool music videos. There's a music video for one of the songs up on YouTube that you featured the
yeah.
last time I was on.
That's quite
So
a journey.
multimedia.
Yes,
Yeah.
very cool. Excellent. Is there anything else you want to share? While we're here, I know that we've talked a lot in the past, and we could talk for hours. But I don't
Yes.
want to take too much time away from the music. But I want to make sure that if there's anything else,
That's about it. I mean,
cool.
check out the album. I'm working on new stuff that's kind of different. I got my hands in a lot of pots right now, a lot of pies, or whatever the saying is. I'm working on stuff with my partner, Irene Green, which is going to sound really cool. Working on stuff with a band I'm in called Jaw Talk, where I play guitar and sing backup and play keyboards. So just stuff like that. And also, I'll just put out there that I teach guitar and I'm available for guitar lessons or adding guitar remotely on your track or whatever you need. I can do that.
Love it, love it. He's really good, folks.
Thank you.
Take a
Yeah,
lesson. Get some
I
overdubs.
luckily I got my my recording setup was all ready before the pandemic hit, so I've been doing a lot of remote recording with
Right.
bandmates.
Great. Well, excellent. We hope we can be part of that solution moving forward for you. Yeah, you want to crank out another one?
Yeah. So
Where we
this
at?
is the most recent song I've written. It's kind of a country downer, kind of a sad Americana type song. Been listening to a lot of Gene Clark, Graham Parsons, Flying Burrito Brothers, the band, that kind of thing. Um, so this song's called Long Gone. Shiver in the shower till I summon the power to dress. Close out at the bank, stop and fill my tank and head out to no fixed address. Don't come looking for me, I'm long gone. You don't wanna ride this road I'm on, so don't come looking for me. Now I'm eastbound and down one more one-horse town till I rest. Halfway through a smile, 40 more miles behind me, the same old sunsets. Don't come looking for me, I'm long gone. You don't wanna ride this road I'm on, so don't come looking for me. Don't blame me too much when I fall out of touch, let it be. Borrowed time, stolen land, shoes full of sand as I walk through a waterless sea. Don't come looking for me, I'm long gone. You don't wanna ride this road I'm on, so don't come looking for me, I'm long gone. I'm long gone.
That's great. Is that an unreleased song?
That is unreleased.
Wow,
It's
excellent.
I'm working on, well, not working on really seriously, but I kind of have piled up this uh, like a bunch of kind of twangy songs over the past few years
Right,
that just I have like two that I recorded for this last record that just were so stylistically incongruent with the rest of the project.
right.
So I kind of have like three or four songs piling up for a more Americana outfit.
Yeah,
Sorry, project. I was thinking about the
that could be
outfit because
played by an outfit. Yes.
I'm getting
So
kind of like a nudie suit style kind of thing made. So I was thinking about the outfit. I'm working on the whole kind of the whole style, the whole kind of image for the project. But I'm
nice,
also
nice.
working like Snowblind, the other song I played, will be kind of more of a standard Mason Summit jangly
Okay.
sad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, it was, again, the lyrics are kind of, very, they're pretty dark, and then, but the chords are happy again. And it's cool
Yeah.
listening experience like that.
Thank you. So I
Awesome.
haven't recorded that, but that will be out at some point.
Well, we get to look forward to having that at our disposal once you do. So it'll be great.
Exactly.
Hey, thanks for joining us as always.
Thank you
We'll
so
check
much,
in
Krish.
whatever it is, weeks, a month, something like that, and we really look forward to it. We always appreciate your musicianship, your poetry, and your vibe here. So thanks so
Thank you
much,
so
man.
much. I really
All right,
appreciate it.
thanks, man. See you
All
soon.
right.
Bye.
Bye.
Mason Summit, everybody, true poet. He didn't hit upon it too much, but his background is in the written word as well, and you can tell that in his lyrics. And so it's great to hear poetry sung, which are songs, obviously, and the way that they move and the way the artist moves those lyrics to notes and to harmony give you a real interesting insight into the emotions that they're feeling and attaching to that poetry. And that's something that is, different than a short story or different than poetry written on a page. And it's a real treat when that poetry is of a level of imagery and expression that's the same as the music. And it's one that communicates emotionally really effectively. And so we're lucky to have that here on your big music moment. So thanks to Mason. We are looking forward to some more great music tomorrow. Thanks again to Musicians on Call, bringing the healing power of music to those in need. And as always, Big Music stands with Black Lives Matter. You can check our social for the ways in which we're changing ourselves to be a positive part of a socially just future. So see you tomorrow, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and live to listen.